What's going on, everyone? Hope everyone's doing well. I know I haven't posted in a while, partially because I couldn't really figure out something to talk about, and I know I've made a couple of videos of me just riding, but I don't know if y'all like those type of videos or not. If y'all do, let me know and I'll make more of them. But anyway, in today's video I'm going to talk about what's better for your bike to ride. Is it better for you to ride in higher RPMs or in lower RPMs? You know, and I've heard both sides that, you know, it's better in the long run for you to ride your bike in lower RPMs, and I've also heard that it's better to ride your bike in higher RPMs. And I've looked at a couple videos, looked online about some things on the topic, and you know, it's kind of a mix, like a 50-50 between the two of what you should do, and I'm going to give my opinion on it and what I think the truth is behind whether or not you should ride your bike in higher RPMs or in lower RPMs. So I'm going to begin with the lower RPMs, and the claim is made that if you ride your bike in lower RPMs you get better fuel mileage, which, yeah, I can see that being true. So, you know, that is a plus to riding your bike in lower gear, or lower RPMs, I mean. But also it increases the longevity of your engine, which I can see how that can be. Also, it cannot not be true, because you can experience what's called lugging, and that's when your bike's engine is working overtime just to move. So say, for example, if you're in third gear, fourth gear going 20, you're saying you're going fourth gear going 20 miles an hour, your bike, it may not feel like it's lugging, but it's working harder to stay at a speed because you have more gears involved trying to, the crankshaft is trying to move. So therefore the pistons, the cylinder head, the crankshaft is working overtime just to move, to keep that flow going. And also the oil pressure, you're not going to have as much oil pressure because the parts aren't moving as quickly. Therefore your oil pump's going to have to pump harder to move the oil, to keep the oil flowing through your engine and keep everything lubricated. But like I said, I can see where, you know, going around 2,000 to 3,000 RPMs would give you better gas mileage because you're not using as much gas. Yeah, because your engine's not working, it's not moving as fast, so you're not, your ECU is saying, okay, you don't need this much gas. But I can see where in the long run you may increase the longevity of your engine, but I also can see where you increase the likelihood that something may happen. You may have a side blowout on the side wall of your cylinder head or your engine because your piston and your cylinder head, or I think cylinder head, your connecting rod is moving slower. So there's more time for those gases to remain in the engine, in the cylinder head, wearing out the engine quicker. Whereas if you're moving at higher RPMs, your connecting rod's moving faster, moving your piston faster, so it's moving out those exhaust gases quicker, allowing for more oxygen, more fuel to come in quicker. which leads me to running your bike at higher RPMs, which I don't know if you could tell. I'm going at around 5,000 to 6,000 RPMs right now in 5th gear, going about 50 to 60 miles an hour. The side of that is, people say, I've seen, I've heard, that wears at your engine quicker because everything's moving quicker. Yeah, I can see how that can be a factor. Because everything's moving quicker, your engine's moving faster, or your components in your engine's moving faster, so everything's working quicker. But also, there's a video, I can't remember the name of the video. I'll have to link in the description of that video. The guy was talking about comparing it to a bicycle, which is true. I mean, a motorcycle is similar to a bicycle. If you've ever rode a bicycle before that has gears, it is harder in the lower gears to pedal than it is in the higher gears. Once you get going and you switch gears, it's a whole lot easier to pedal than it is in the lower gears, which is how the engine, the motorcycle works with the chain and all that. It's easier to move and flow, get the flow of things moving through to keep your bike moving forward. The momentum helps your bikes move, and I don't know if you could tell right now, but my engine, I'm still getting eco mode on my bike, and I'm almost at 6,000 RPMs. So I'm still getting good fuel economy on this bike. Now, of course, it's a 650, so it's not really that big of a horsepower or gas guzzler in terms of bikes. Now, a legal bike might be different, of course, but I'm revving at higher RPMs, and still I'm getting good gas mileage. And I can see where revving and having it around this RPM, that the momentum helps my bike move forward, so it takes some stress off my engine, my transmission, and my chain. Well, maybe not my chain as much, to keep it moving forward, so they don't have to work as hard turning to keep the bike moving forward, or in the direction that I want to go, which I guess would be forward. But you know, like I said, there's that explanation that guy made really good sense, in the fact that at higher RPMs, it's like you're pedaling at higher gears on a bicycle, so the bike's not as stressed moving versus lower gears, lower RPMs, I mean. So it helps preserve the internals of your bike, of the engine anyway, I should say, and it helps increase the or helps keep the longevity of your oil pump and other pumps, fuel pumps. Well, maybe not your fuel pump, because your fuel pump's having to pump in more fuel, but your oil pump, it helps keep the pressure of your oil pump up, because the pressure of the moving parts keeps the pressure, keeps the oil moving, so your oil pump doesn't have to pump as much, or as hard, I should say. So, you know, in that regard, you might help some of the internals of your bike, in that sense that going at higher RPMs helps your bike out. Now, either way you look at it, of course, if you ride your bike, you're going to wear out parts of it eventually. That's just the nature of it. You can't avoid that. But what I was looking at and seeing is what's the best way to keep your bike healthier longer, so maybe you can avoid some of them early maintenance that may be required. And from what I found, you know, I would say put my bet on the safer side of riding your bike at higher RPMs is better for your bike than riding it at lower RPMs, just for the simple fact that you have that momentum going when you're at higher RPMs to keep your bike moving in the direction that you're going, so less stress on your internals of your engine and your transmission. But like I said, I can see on both sides how each factor can have its play, but the one thing to get across is a bike engine is not like a car's engine. You know, a bike engine, usually the cylinders are longer, so the connecting rods and the pistons are longer, so you have a longer period from the bottom to the top. So if you're going at 2,000, say 2,500 RPMs, that's a longer period of time to move that from point A to point B. So that's something to consider, whereas a car engine, you know, normally their cylinders are shorter, so the connecting rods and the pistons don't have to be as long. Right? You take a liter bike, for example, or this bike, not just a liter bike, but you can see it redlines, a Ninja 650 redlines at 12,000 or 12,500 RPMs is the max it'll go. A car, certain cars may go 9, which may not sound like that huge of a gap, but in terms of specs, in terms of internals for the engine and how it works, it is a big difference. You know, and you take newer liter bikes, like say for example Gixxer 1000 and Ninja ZX10R, they'll redline at 14,000. That's insane. That's a lot of revs. That's a high RPM. So if you think about that versus a car, like your racing cars may go 10, 11,000, but still there's nothing compared to a liter bike. Even this bike, 10,000 RPMs. So yeah, and I figured I'd take you all out on this road. I've taken it a couple times to get back home, and I figured I'd take you all out on it. It's a pretty nice little scenic views here and there of the open country. It's what I love the look, and that's what one thing I love about having a motorcycle is I can feel the freedom when I watch and look and see the open country. It's awesome. But yeah, that is the topic for today's video. What do you all think? Do you all think that riding at higher RPMs is worse, or riding at lower RPMs is better? Leave your comments down below. Let me know. I appreciate it when you all comment back and give y'all's opinion. I like it when you all comment back and let me know what you all are thinking. But I just love it when I get behind slow traffic. It's great. Oh, look at this. Hold on now. Oh, that's nice to see. Some goats out. Huh. Well, that was interesting, but other than that, guys, I appreciate y'all watching this video. If you like it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, and I'll see y'all in the next video.